Sydney Harbour is one of the most beautiful and ecologically sensitive waterways in the world. So preparing a Navy ship for scuttling in this environment was always going to be a major undertaking. In 2009, McMahon Services was awarded the prestigious $5 million contract to prepare the HMAS Adelaide for scuttling. McMahon Services was awarded the contract based on its 20 years of experience in a range of construction, engineering and environmental services. This has included marine contracting work such as foreshore developments and cliff stabilisation, through to vessel decommissioning, dismantle and disposal.
It was a significant achievement to win the contract. I think what helped is we'd had a previous experience in sinking the HMAS Hobart in Adelaide off the South Australian coast, but after a long tender process it was obviously a great reward to win the contract.
Importantly, the whole process of preparing the ship had to be conducted so that there was no pollution or adverse impact to the marine environment. A comprehensive environmental assessment had to be completed and looked at all aspects of scuttling the ship and the long-term management of the dive site.
McMahon's are very conscious of meeting all environmental requirements. They're well across all the issues that need to be satisfied and pay a lot of attention to that.
All preparation was undertaken strictly in accordance with the stringent standards required under the Environmental Protection Act.
We will not get our sea dumping permit until the 11th hour, and it takes that iterative, cooperative, ongoing process to make sure that it's done right.
The legislation is administered by the Department of Environment, Water, Heritage and the Arts, who undertook regular inspections of the ship throughout the preparation.
The ship needs to pass a white glove test from top to bottom before you can scuttle it. So that's the sort of thing that we've been doing and the checklist that we've been working to during the last 12 months.
The work included the removal of plant, equipment, ducting, pipework and combustible materials prior to the industrial cleaning of the entire ship. The challenge for McMahon Services was to ensure that the process left no impact on the surrounding environment.
Even the paper cups, the plastic cups that come out of the lunchroom, they're getting separated. We've got bins, separate bins on site that we can separate our food scraps from our recyclable products.
A total surface area of 350,000 square metres was cleaned by hand, including fuel oils, removal of hazardous materials such as heavy metals, batteries, PCBs, copper, lead paints and asbestos. The removal of all plant and machinery, cabling, doors, ladders and insulation was crucial to make the ship safe as a dive site. Modifications had to be made to produce a safe and interesting dive site, including cutting diver access holes into the sides, floors and ceilings to allow vertical access between decks and to allow light to penetrate.
It's not a slash and burn exercise. It has to be done very strategically and very carefully to make sure that it's safe for divers.
Generally, each compartment of the ship required 2 alternative egress access points. All materials removed from the vessel went through a detailed sorting process.
Everything was pulled apart, such as the fire sensor switches, which have mercury in them. We pulled the switches apart to take the mercury out.
90% was scrapped for recycling and the rest was removed for safe disposal. The preparation of the HMAS Adelaide for scuttling was a high-risk project and safety was the #1 priority.
The environment is changing up there on a daily basis. There are more and more holes going in the floor. Talking on mobile phones, things like that, you need to be concentrating 100% on where you're going. What was there this morning may not be the same this afternoon.
Stringent safety measures were maintained throughout the duration of the project. As site conditions were continually changing, daily safety meetings were performed to ensure these measures were communicated to all personnel.
McMahon's are very conscious of safety, and this was a well-run project where we had no safety issues at all.
This project involved a number of stakeholders, all of whom McMahon Services managed with ease.
It has been a complex project with a number of issues that we needed to liaise closely on, and they've been very helpful through that whole process.
With final stages approaching, arrangements were made to have the vessel towed from Glebe Island on Sydney Harbour to Avoca Beach, 70 kilometres to the north. Once at Avoca Beach, detonators were connected to the cutting charges and final checks were performed. On the day of the scuttling, wind and swell conditions looked good, but one final challenge stalled proceedings. A pod of playful dolphins had come in to check out the vessel. A 1 kilometre exclusion zone had to be enforced. Finally, after our aquatic visitors had left the area, the vessel came to rest in a perfect upright position on the ocean floor, 32 metres from sea level. A post-scuttling inspection was carried out to remove any floating debris from the surrounding area. A dive inspection then confirmed the safety and stability of the ship on the seabed. The preparation and scuttling of the ex-HMAS Adelaide was an extensive project with many different facets. It is a project McMahon Services is proud of, and all stakeholders were delighted with the progress and outcome of the work.
It's one of those rare projects that you're privileged to work on that is a positive thing for the community and for the environment. I guess it's just been an uplifting experience.
This is the second sizable vessel McMahon Services has prepared for scuttling. The project joins a diverse list of other high-profile groundbreaking work McMahon Services has successfully conducted all over Australia, from the outback to the coast and beyond.